channel today we're looking at some 70s and 80s forgotten rock and metal. Starting off with some 70s. You probably call them prog rock, you know, hard rock. So they were called Fantacy Hill, fantasy spelt with a C. And this was their second and final album called First Step. Got an upside down promo sticker. Got a stairway in the clouds going to nowhere. Yeah, I think this one came out in 78. These guys were from Detroit. They were around in the late 70s. They were sort of popular in their own area. They had a couple of local hits. Next up we've got a band called Scorpio. This is early 70s. They're pretty heavy. So this band, they were from Hungary. They formed in 73. They were apparently a supergroup, Hungarian musicians. They were possibly influenced by Emerson, Lake and Palmer. So this was their first album in 74, and they were pretty consistent right up to, you know, the 80s, putting stuff out. They're very 70s sounding. It's got the old organ in there. So I think this album translates to The Rush, what Rohannes means in Hungarian, I guess. But yeah, they look very 70s and they sounded, but I like the guitars in it. Next up we got Jaguar this time. It's got a really good album cover. And this one was 1984. So Jaguar, they were English. They formed in 79, put out their first album, put out a live album out, I think, in 81, then Power Games 83. Then this was their second proper album, and pretty much their last album, you know, of the 80s. You know, it's elements of AOR in it, but they're a heavy metal band. Next up we got Hatrik, the Beast. So recently I picked it up again because I wanted to have it with the Obi. And it's complete, sort of an expensive record. They have that real glam 80s look. Pretty good sound they had, you know, very heavy. Japanese insert from 1986. So they do We're an American Band, that's a cover. That's on side one. The album actually came out in 86. $30 to $40 if you got it complete, so that's pretty good. The band only put out this one album, no singles or anything. So I don't know what happened to them. Just clicking on the guitarist, he was in another band called Technical. So just picked this one up again, Santers, Guitar Alley. So having it with the Obi is always good. Rick Sanders, you know, he played with Lee Aaron, helped her when she started out. So you got Rick Sanders lead vocals and guitars, and then you got his brother on drums, and then they got a bass player. Produced by Rick Emmett from Triumph. Back of the Obi, there's Keel, Dio, Tokyo Blade, and Q5. So sort of, you know, B-grade metal, would you say? Insert. Yeah, I like this band. It's got to have that heavy lover boy, you know, foreigner sound. So this album was 1985. When it's complete, you're looking at $40 in Japan. They put out their first album, Shot Down in Flames, 81. I've never seen that. Racing Time, 82. Then this was their third album, and then 1999 they put out something. That's it. So I'm pretty sure, you know, they're all active in other bands. Yeah, great sound. Next up we got a band called Suicide Squad, Live It While You Can. pretty good sound. This is an EP, there's just 4 songs on it, 45 speed. Music for Nations. This one's, you know, anywhere from 15 to 30 in Japan. And they only put out this one release. So I think Brad Sinsel, he's the singer. He was in TKO and a band called War Babies. So next up we've got a band called Shrapnel. So Shrapnel's a pretty metal name, but they don't look that metal. They sort of got short hair. But they sound alright. They put this one out in '84. They're labeled as punk power pop. And yeah, this is just 5 songs, so you know, it's 33 speed though. These guys were active from the late 70s until '85. Just put out this one album and a bunch of singles and EPs. This album, you know, goes from anywhere between 15 and 50 here in Japan. In a Spider-Man comic from 1980, there was a plot where Peter Parker actually goes to see Shrapnel play at CBGB. And you've got a supervillain that mind controls the crowd and the band, and it forces Spider-Man and Doctor Strange to save the day. So the singer is actually David Windorf, and he ended up starting the band Monstermagnet. So if you're a Monstermagnet fan, you'd probably want this one. We got the band Frozen Ghost. Pretty nice copy. It's got the Obi strip, and there's a sample sticker on the back. But yeah, it's complete. You've got 80s new wave bands being promoted on the back of the Obi, so possibly, you know, they weren't looked on as a metal band. They make really good music. It's sort of very smooth. So when Sherriff broke up, half of the band went into Frozen Ghost and the other half of the band started Alias. They were a little bit more heavier. Yeah, Frozen Ghost, this was their first album in '86, and then they put out 2 more albums. Their second last album is Rio. So this is the Japanese release. It's got the insert and the Obi. Got it on side 2, Shy Girl. Came out in '86. They're worth about $25 roughly, but if you got the Obi, I reckon it would be worth a bit. So this is their first album, Borderland, and then Sex Crimes in '86, just those 2. And they were a studio project, not a proper band. The drummer, his name's Steve Rudford. He was in the Zombies, so older band. Yeah, the insert, you got a band picture, but actually it's pretty much just the 2 guys that appear on the album cover. Our last album is Fury. So this is probably one of the best album covers I've ever seen. It's like 80s excess. Yeah, it's not hard rock, it's very... like soft rock. Got the insert. So yeah, the moustaches were really in the 80s, you know. No beard, just the moustache and the mullet. And this sound, you know, it appeared in all the movies and all the big hits sounded like this. So it came out in '85. It's labeled as hard rock AOR. And, you know, it's roughly, you know, a $20 to $30 record here. They only put out this one album and 1 single off it. They are American. And a lot of bands called Fury in the 80s, metal bands, but yeah, these guys weren't metal. And Robbie LeBlanc, you know, he's, I think, the singer, so he's got his own website. I'm just clicking on it. He's still very active. Yeah, slightly heavier. Yeah, it's not terrible. It reminds me a lot of, you know, the Top Gun soundtrack. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.